Welcome back, students. In the last class we covered event handling mechanism, and we discussed key events, mouse events, and what are the related programs of mouse events and keyboards. In this class I am going to talk about AWT. So AWT stands for Abstract Window Toolkit. AWT stands for Abstract Window Toolkit. In Java, AWT is one of the largest packages. So all AWT classes present in Java.AWT package. In Java, AWT means Abstract Window Toolkit. It is one of the largest packages. Next one, the AWT contains number of classes and methods. So AWT contains number of classes, methods that allow us to create and manage windows. Suppose if you want to develop any GUI based applications, so any graphics based window based applications, GUI is an interface. So in Java AWT concept, AWT means Abstract Window Toolkit. In Java it is one of the largest packages. So the main purpose of AWT is to support applet windows. In the last class we covered applet. So applet is a small program, it is used for internet computing. So in like application, it also performs many tasks for us. So to display graphics on the console, so to calculate arithmetic calculations and so on. So the main purpose of AWT is to support applet windows. Next one, window fundamentals. So a window, suppose if you want to open, so in your computer, nowadays everyone use GUI based applications. So you have to open one window, it has one title bar. So in the left corner, so in the right corner, so minimize, maximize, close. So it has a title bar, so and a text bar and so on. So it has scroll bars, it is like a window. So what is window fundamentals? The AWT defines windows according to the class hierarchy. So here AWT defines windows according to a class hierarchy that has functionalities with each level. So here the two most common windows are, so first one is those derived from panel. So those are derived from panel. So which is used by applet. By using panel class we can create a window. So it is derived from panel. Here applet is the subclass of panel. By using applet we can display the window. So here the two most common windows are, first of all, those derived from panel. So here which is used by applet. In panel, applet is the subclass. By using applet we can display on the window. Second one is those derived from frame. So frame is a class. By using frame class we can creating and displaying on the window. So which creates a standard window. In Java we can create a window in two ways. First one is it is derived from panel, which is used by applet. In panel, applet is the subclass. Next one, those derived from frame, which creates a standard window. So by creating a frame, so which creates a standard window. In Java, we can create a windows in two ways, by using panel class and by using frame. So in this panel, applet is the subclass. By using frame class, we can create a window. Next one here, let us see the class hierarchy for panel and frame. So here component. So component is the topmost class in AWT hierarchy. So what are the components like button, canvas, checkbox, choice, label, list, scroll bar, text component. In the text component, text area and text field, these two are the subclasses. These two subclasses derived from text component. So component is the topmost class in AWT hierarchy, in class hierarchy for panel and frame. So in Java AWT concept, window can be created in two ways. Already so far we discussed it. So panel and frame. So in the panel applet is a subclass. By using frame, those derived from frame we can create a window. So here component is the topmost class in AWT hierarchy. So what are the GUI components supported by Java AWT? Button, checkbox, choice, label, list, scroll bar, text component, text field, text area. These all are components. Next one, container. Container is the subclass of component. So container is the subclass of component. So what is container? Container is like a screen. Container is like a screen. So it is like a screen. So where we can add the component. Container is like a screen where we can add the component. Here we can add the component. So it is a place in which we are placing the components. So container is derived from component. Container is the subclass and the component is the superclass. Container, what is container? Container is like a screen where we can place in the components, where we can add the components. Here panel and window, these two are derived from container. Panel and window, these two are derived from container. So here panel and window, these two are subclasses of container class. Next one, window class have two subclasses, dialog and frame. So these two are subclasses of window. These two are subclasses of window. In Java, window can be created in two ways, by using a panel. Second one is by using frame. So in this panel object, we are using applet. Applet is a subclass of panel. So in this one, we are using frame to create an window. It is a hierarchy. It is a class hierarchy for panel and frame. Next one, component. So what is component? So component is the topmost class in AWT hierarchy. Component is the topmost class in AWT hierarchy. Everything can be derived from component. Component is the superclass. It is the topmost class in AWT hierarchy. In AWT class hierarchy for panel and frame. So everything can be derived from component class. This one, a component is an object. In Java, everything we have treated as object. Component is a class. With respect to the class, we can create an object. So in this way, we can say component is an object. So it is having graphical representation. That can be displayed on the screen. So it can be used. So graphical representation that can be displayed on the screen and interact with the user. So examples of the components are buttons, checkboxes. So we can whenever we can interact with the GUI applications like button and checkboxes. So whenever we can press the button, some event is generated. So whenever we can select the checkbox, initially it was deselected. Whenever we can click and select the checkbox, it is selected. Again, I am clicking same checkbox, it is deselected. So users interact with these GUI components. So these all are the components. So users interact with these GUI components. Like examples of GUI components are buttons, checkboxes, list, scroll bar. These all are GUI components. Next, coming to the next point, all user interface elements that are displayed on the screen, and that interact with the users are subclasses of component. So everything that is derived from component. Suppose user interact with any components. So suppose user interact with any elements. So any elements, those are derived from component class. Everything that is derived from component class. Component is the topmost class in AWT hierarchy. It is a superclass. So coming to the next one, anything that is derived from component, it can be a component. This one, component class contains number of methods for event handling. So every class contains some variables and methods. So generally what class contains? Class contains variables and methods. So in this one, component is a class. Component is the topmost class in AWT hierarchy. So component is an object. Using components, using GUI components, user can interact and easily interact with the GUI components. Everything that is derived from component. Like every class have some methods. In that one component class also it defines some methods for event handling, managing, graphics, painting and sizing, resizing the window. So component class provides number of methods for handling the events and for managing the graphics, for painting, for displaying the graphics on the console, and the sizing, we can size the window and resize the window. So it defines a number of methods, it provides number of methods. So next one, container. So what is container? Container is a subclass of component. In the class hierarchy for panel and frame, container is a subclass. Container is the subclass of component class. Everything that is derived from component class. Component is a class. With respect to the class, we can create create object. So we can say in Java everything we have treated as object. So container class is a subclass of component. Container class is the subclass of component class. Next one, it has some additional methods. So actually component is the topmost class or superclass. Container is derived from these two are classes. Component, container, these two are classes. Container is derived from component class. Container is derived from component class. So generally every subclass have some own properties. Every subclass have its own data members and member functions. But it is a subclass. It accessing all the variables and methods from superclass. Generally, so it has additional methods. Container is a subclass. It has additional methods that allow other component objects to be nested within it. So it allows other component objects also because it is a subclass. It can be inherited all the properties from component class, and it has some additional methods, and it has component objects methods also. Next one, a container object is a component. A container object is a component because container. What is container? Container is a place. It is a container. It is a place where we can add the component. In this one, we can add the component. So it is like a screen where we can placing all the components. Suppose here I'm displaying button, OK button. So I'm displaying checkboxes. These all are the components. Components present inside the container. It is a container. Components are placed inside the container. So it is a place where we can add the components, where we can remove the components. So some of the containers are frames. Dialogues, window, panel. Okay, these all are the containers. Again, container have two subclasses, panel and window. Panel and window, these two are subclasses of container class. So it is derived from container class. Panel and window indirectly or directly it is a root class of component. So these all are derived from component class. Finally, component class is the topmost class in AWT hierarchy. So container in the class hierarchy. Here in the class hierarchy, panel and window, these two are the subclasses of container. Again, dialog and frame, these two are subclasses of window. Next one, panel. In Java, we can create a window in two ways by using panel. So those derived from panel, which is used by applet. Next one, those derived from frame, we can create a standard window. So in Java, in these two ways, we can creating a window in Java. So here, coming to the panel, what is frame? What is a panel? So panel is a class. Everything in Java, everything we have considered as classes and objects. Java is nothing but collection of classes and objects. Panel is a class. It is a concrete subclass of container. So it is a subclass. Component, container, panel. Here component, container, panel. So panel is a concrete subclass of container. So I hope everyone clear about this point. The panel is a class. So first of all, panel is what? Panel is a class. So panel is a class. It is a predefined class. It is present in AWT package. So in Java, AWT is one of the largest packages. So according to the naming rules, predefined classes first letter should start with uppercase letter. Here panel class is a concrete subclass of container. So I think everyone clear about these one. First of all, component is the topmost class in AWT hierarchy. Next one, container. Next one, panel. So here panel is the concrete subclass of container. Container is derived from component class, panel is derived from container class. That's why we can say panel class is the concrete class of container class. So it does not have any new methods, it simply implements container. So it does not have any new methods. Simply it implements the container. simply it implements, it overrides the container. So container class have some own methods and some own data members. So here panel is derived from container. Generally every subclass have its own data members and member functions. But coming to the panel does not have any new methods. Simply it implements the container. So what are the methods available in container class? Those classes used by panel class. Coming to the next one, panel provides space in which an application can attach any other components including other panels. So it is a concrete screen component. It is a concrete screen component. So by using panel, we can create a window. So those derived from panel which is used by applet class. So panel is a concrete subclass of container. So generally it is a subclass of container class. Generally every subclass has some own data members and member functions. But coming to the panel does not have any new methods. Simply it implements the container class. So what are the methods available in container class? Those all methods would applicable to the panel class. Because panel does not have any new methods, simply it implements the container class. So next one, coming to the next one, applet class is the subclass of panel. Already I told you. Applet is the class. Applet is the class. It is the subclass of which class? Panel class. Applet is the class which is the subclass of panel class. In the last classes we have seen applet class and applet implementation, applet lifecycle. Applet is a class. It is a predefined class. It is present in which package? Applet package. So it is present in applet package. Applet is a class. By using applet, it is a small program. We can it is used in internet computing to developing web-based applications. So we can implement applet in two ways, by using HTML code and by using web browser. In the last class we have seen. So panel is in the applet is a subclass of panel class. Next one, applet output is drawn on the surface of panel object, because applet is the subclass of panel. So whenever we can implementing the applet, this output is drawn on the surface of panel object. Surface of panel object. Next one, conclusion. So a panel is a window. But in Java, those derived from panel, it is a subclass of by using applet. Applet is the subclass of panel. In this way, we can create a window. So a panel is a window that does not contain title bar, menu bar, and border. So panel is also a window, but it does not contain title bar, menu bar, and border. So it does not have, suppose it is a window, but it does not have title bar. It does not have title bar, menu bar, and border. So border also it is not there. So it is a window, but it does not contain title bar, menu bar, or border. So this is why we do not see these items in the applet is run side inside browser. So in applet implemented two ways, by using HTML and by using applet applet viewer tool. So whenever we can implementing HTML code, our browser needs plugin. So it is one of the drawback of applet. That's why we can implementing applets in applet viewer tool. So here we can when we can run an applet using applet viewer, the applet viewer provides the title bar and border. So whenever we can implementing applets in applet viewer tool, provides some title bar, menu bar, and border. So it is a default border available. It's no matter. But whenever we can implementing applet in applet viewer tool, applet viewer, it is a tool. So by applets can be implemented in applet viewer tool and by using HTML code. So in most of the cases we are using applet viewer tool. It is a tool. In this platform we are implementing applets. We are executing the applets. So it is a tool. So whenever we can implementing applets in applet viewer tool, that tool provides title bar and menu bar and border. So other components can be added by the panel objects, like other components. Other components in a panel, a number of other components means like labels, checkboxes. Those components are also added by the panel. So here we can use add method. So other components can be added to a panel object by its add is a method. So it is inherited from container. Because panel is the subclass of container. Suppose class panel extends container. Container. Here panel is the subclass, container is the superclass. So panel does not have any new method, simply it implements the container class. So applet is a subclass of panel class. By using applet viewer, panel window does not contain any title bar and menu bar. So whenever we can implementing applets in applet viewer tool provides some title bar and menu bar and border. So like other components can be added by a panel object by its add method. Add is a method to can add other components in our panel object and window. So it is inherited from container because panel is derived from container class. Now let us see this one. So here it is a container. It is the container. So it is the container. So already I told you container is like a screen. Container is like a screen where we can add the component. So container is like a screen where we can add the component. So here these all are the components. Here these all are the components. So first one label. So first one label. So next one test field. So here it is a label. Next one it is a test field. It is the test field. Already I told you in the event handling, test field is a AWT GUI component. It allows a single line test. So here it is a test field. Test field. It is one component. Next one, these all are buttons. These all are buttons. So button 1, button 2 and button 3. So it is also a component. Button is also a component. So whenever each time a button is pressed, which event generated? Action event generated. So these three are buttons. These three are buttons. So these all are GUI components. These all are GUI components. Label, test field and buttons. So here this dotted line indicates panel. This dotted line indicates panel. This dotted line indicates panels. These two are panels. These two are panels. So it is a container. So it is a container. So it is a container. So in this one it is a frame. Frame contains some title bar. So here AWT test. It is a title bar. So it is a window. So in the window every time we can open the window. So it shows some icons, minimize, maximize and close. So it is these two are panels. Okay, these two are panels. So here container is like a screen where we can add the components. So where we can add the components. So it is a place. Container is a place where we can add the components. In this one we can add the components like labels, test fields and buttons. So in this one these two are panels. These two are panels. So here these two are panels. Dotted line indicates a panel. So panel is the subclass of container class. Panel does not have any new methods. Simply it inherits the container class. What are the default properties available in container class? Those all applicable to the panel class. So panel output is in this one applet is the subclass of panel. Whenever we can implementing applets in applet viewer tool, it can contain title bar, menu bar and borders. But panel does not contain title bar, menu bar and border. So whenever we can implementing applets in applet viewer tool, it contains title bar, menu bar and border. So next one. So these all are GUI components like label, test field and buttons. Where we can place these components within the container. So here this border is a container. It is like a screen where we can add the components. Next coming to the window. So window class creates a top level window. Next one continuation. A window object is a top level window with no borders and no menu bar. Like window also, like panel window also. So no borders and no menu bar. So it does not contain any components. So it has two subclasses. Frame is a window with name and menu bar dialog to represent the dialog boxes. So in the window class I have two subclasses, frame and dialog. So frame is a window with name, menu bar, title bar and so on. So dialog to represent dialog boxes. So window means it is a top level window. It have two subclasses, frame and dialog. So those derived from frame we can create a standard window. So frame and dialog, these two are subclasses of window. Frame and dialog, these two are subclasses of window. By using these two classes, so here frame is a window with name and menu bar and dialog to represent dialog boxes. Next continuation frame. Next continuation frame. So what is frame? It is the subclass of window. Already I told you frame is the subclass of window. So in the panel and frame class hierarchy, so frame is the subclass of window. It is the subclass of window, and it has a title bar, menu bar, borders, and resizing corners. It have everything. So it have some title bar, menu bar, sizing the window, resizing the window. It have everything. So it is derived from window. So frame is the subclass of window. So it has a title bar, menu bar, borders, and resizing the corners. Next one, in the frame class have two constructors. First one is a default constructor. Constructor name same as the class name. Already you know that. What is our class frame? So it is a default class. It creates a standard window that does not contain a title. So here it contains a standard window. It creates a standard window that does not contain a title. So it is a default frame constructor. So whenever we can using a default frame constructor, it does not contain any title. Next, coming to the, so here you can when constructors are created, whenever object of the class is invoked, constructors are automatically created. So here I am creating object of the frame class, frame f equal to new frame. So already you know that what is the syntax of creating object in Java. So frame f equal to new frame. So whenever object of the class is created, constructors are automatically invoked. So here it is a default constructor. So what is the meaning of frame default constructor? It does not contain title. Coming to the second constructor, so here frame string title. So it is a parameterized constructor. What is parameterized constructor? The constructor that takes arguments as a parameters is known as parameterized constructor. So here this frame class is applied as a one argument, that is string. So here title. Title is the reference. So it is a parameterized constructor. Whenever this frame constructor is defined in our program, so it creates some title. So here it creates a window with the title specified by title. So it creates a window with the title specified by title. Title is string type. Title is string type. So we can specify some title. It is AWT, applet, label. So we can specify some title. So whenever we can in our program, whenever we can using a parameterized constructor frame string title, it creates a window with the title specified by title. That's why here I am creating object of frame class, frame f equal to new frame, my frame. Here my frame is title. Here my frame is title. So here this whenever object of the class is created, constructors are automatically invoked. So here this statement meaning whenever we can creating object of the frame class, so it has some title. It has some title. Default constructor means frame does not have any title. Parameterized constructor, it accepts a string as an argument and it has some title. It has some frame title. So it have two constructor frame. First coming to the frame. Finally frame. So frame is a subclass of window. Frame is a subclass of window. It have title bar, menu bar, and everything. It have defined. Next one, it has two constructors: default frame and parameterized frame. Default frame means it does not have title bar. Next one, parameterized frame constructor means it has some title. So string argument is applied as a my frame constructor. So here title means it has some title. It have some title. Next coming. So we can't specify dimensions of the window. So we can't specify the dimensions of the window. So instead we must set the size of the window after has been created. So we can set the size of the window. So by explicitly we can set size of the window after frame has been created. Next one, another way is to create a subclass. So my frame to the frame class and create object of the subclass. So first one is generally, so here our class extends the frame class. It is another way of creating frame class. It is another way of creating frame class. Here class my frame extends frame class. So class my frame extends frame. So here frame, one is a capital letter frame. It is a predefined class. First letter should start with uppercase letter. Here class, my class is a keyword. It should start with lowercase letter. So here my frame. So here my frame is our class. So my frame extends frame class. Generally, my frame is the subclass. Frame is the here my frame is the subclass. Frame is the superclass. Generally, what are the properties available in superclass? Those all properties, those all default behaviors applicable in our class. Next one, we can creating object of the my frame class. My frame equal to new frame. It is the another way of creating frame class. Our class is a subclass of frame class. So in this way, our class is subclass of frame class. Frame is a superclass. What are the default behaviors applicable in frame class? Those all would applicable in our class, in our subclass. Next one. So every class have some methods. So what are the methods in frames? Let us see methods in frames. So setting the windows dimensions. So we can set the window dimensions. We can use set size. Set size is a method. So according to the naming rules, if any method contains two words, second word first letter should start with uppercase letter. Here set size. Second word first letter S should start with uppercase letter. So it is a method defined by which class? Frame class. So what is the purpose of this method? When we can use this method? So every class contains number of methods, but when we can use those methods, why it is necessary? So what is the need of those methods? Here let us see one by one. So here set size method used to set dimensions of the window. So this method used to set dimensions of the window. So whenever we want to set dimensions means some pixels values, some x coordinate and y coordinates. Whenever we want to set the dimensions of the frame, we can use set size method. So what is the syntax? Every method has some syntax. So set size method written type is y. So it has two arguments, new width and new height. These two arguments are supplied as a set size method. So return type is int. So in also we can declare in void set size, dimension, new size. These two are valid syntaxes for setting the size of an window. So here dimension means where new size of the window is specified. New size means new width and height. New size means new width and height. Where new size of the window is specified by new width and new height. So we can set window size. So window dimension, some new height and a new width. So here new size indicates new width and new height, or by width and height fields of the dimensions. So new size means width and height fields of dimensions. So object is passed as a new size. So this object is passed as new size. Here dimensions means pixels values. Next, coming to the next one is set size. So we use it to obtain current size of the window, get size. Sometimes we want to know what is the size of window. In that situations, get size method will be helpful as to determine to find the size of our window. So here it returns the dimensions of the window. So get size method, get size is a method. So whenever sometimes we want to know what is the size of a particular window, in those situations this method will be help us to find the size of dimensions of the window. So get size is a method. So this method returns the dimensions as a dimensions. Next one, so it returns the current size of the window. Note, it returns the current size of the window. So it contains with width and height fields of a dimensions object. Dimensions object means some height and width attributes. Next one, hiding and showing a window. So we can hide a window or showing the window. So sometimes we want to show the window. We can use set visible method. Set visible is a method according to the naming rules. Second word first letter should start with uppercase letter. After a frame window has been created, so we can create a frame. After the frame window has been created, it will not be visible until we call set visible method. So frame is created. So after frame window has been created, it will not visible. It will not visible until we call set visible method. Whenever we can call set visible method, then only our frame is visible. Our frame is visible. Our frame is displaying on the console. Until does not, it will not displaying frame. So after a frame window has been created, it will not be visible until we call set visible method. Yes, coming to the next method. So here the component is visible if the argument of this method is true. Next one, so set title method. So we can change the title in a frame window using set title. So already by default we can set the title of the frame. Sometimes we want to change title of the frame. On those situations we can use set title method. So here syntax void set title. Set title is a method. String is an argument supplied as set title method. Here new title. So new title means some new height and width of the title. New title means some new title is the what we have to set the title. Those title we can display here. So it is string type. Already existing title is there. Sometimes we want to change, we want to modify. Those method will be helpful as to set the title of the frame or to change the title of the frame. Next one, here let us see the example, then you can easily understand what is frame. So here I am importing AWT package because frame is a class. It is present in which package? AWT package. So whenever we can creating a frame, so it is highly recommended to import which package? AWT package. AWT is one of the largest packages in Java packages. So in Java provides number of predefined packages, number of inbuilt packages. So in those one, AWT is one of the largest packages because it contains numerous classes and methods. They have number of classes and methods. So in this way, simply we can say AWT is one of the largest packages in Java packages. Suppose we want to create a frame, it is highly recommended to import AWT package. Here I am importing package. Import java.awt.star. So already you know that star means all classes. Star means all classes. So here what are the classes and what are the interfaces? What are the methods available in AWT? Those all classes, methods, interfaces would be loaded in our current program, in our program memory. So next one, our class is a public access specifier. Generally you know that public access specifier. Public is a access specifier or access modifier. What is the scope of public access specifier or public access modifier? Suppose if any class is defined by the public access specifier, those class we can accessing within the class, within the subpackage, outside the class and outside the package. Compared to any among all other modifiers, public is the widest scope among all other modifiers. So public means everyone can easily access, everywhere we can easily access. So that's why our class is defined as a public. Next one, frame demo extends frame. Frame demo extends frame. Already I told you in the last slides syntax. Our class is a subclass of frame class. Our class is a subclass of frame class. So here frame demo, it is a subclass. Frame demo is a subclass. So frame demo is a subclass frame. Frame is a predefined class. Our class is subclass of our frame class. So generally what are the default behaviors? What are the properties available in frame class? Those are inherited from frame demo class. Frame demo simply inherited what are the properties available in frame class. Because frame is a predefined class, it is a superclass. Next one, public frame demo. So here I am generating one constructor. Actually you know that constructor name is another class name. Hey, what is our class name? Frame demo. So public can be applicable with respect to the constructor, with respect to a method, with respect to a variable, with respect to the class. This constructor also which access modifier? Public. So here frame demo. So it is default constructor or parameterized constructor, parameterized constructor. Here string is a class, that class is supplied as argument to the frame demo constructor. Next one, title. It is specified by some title. Specified by some title. Next one, so we can close the constructor body and super title. Super title. So we can accessing super class members in the subclass. We can using super constructor, super title. So next one we can close the constructor body. Next we can define main method. Next we can creating object of frame our class. Whenever we can creating object of the class, constructors are automatically invoked. So when constructors are created, whenever object of the class is created, constructors are automatically invoked. So here I am creating object of the frame demo class. Frame demo f equal to new frame demo. So here frame demo. So what is our title? Frame demo. Because in the constructor, it is a parameterized constructor, string title. Title is specified by string. It is a string type. So here, what is the title of our frame demo? So as ever wish, it is any valid name. So just here I am specifying frame demo. So it is not a mandatory to put all the titles as a frame demo. As ever wish, so we can specify any names. So like your name, college name, anything we have to set our frame name. So next one. So here I am set the size. So how to set the size of the window? So set the size. F dot set size. So set size, set visible. Set size and set size, set visible. These two are methods. These two methods present in which class? Frame class. So by using these object reference, we can call in set size method and set visible method. So here I am set the size of the window. Some 200 height and width, 200, 300. So after frame has been created, it will not visible until we call set visible method. Whenever we can call the set visible method, then only our frame is visible to us. So here I am calling set visible method with the help of object name f dot set visible true. So true means visible. True means visible. So here I am closing main method body and class body. So if you compile and run this program, what is the output we have getting? So here one frame is created. So here one frame is created. This is the frame. One frame is created. So frame is like a window. So we can one frame is created. So frame like window. So we have minimize, maximize and close button. So what is the title of this frame? Frame demo. What is the title of this frame? Frame demo. Already we have set title of the frame. Frame demo. So here title is visible. But is it visible? Is it visible the title or not? Yes, visible. So whenever we can after frame has been created, whenever we can call the set visible method, then only our frame is visible to us. So here what is our title? Title of the frame? Frame demo. Frame demo. In Java, windows can be created in two ways, by using panel and by using frame class. By using frame. So in this one, applet is a subclass of panel. In this one, those derived from panel. So those all our classes derived from panel. Simply we can create a standard window. But after creating a frame, it is not visible until we can call the set visible method. So by default, the set visible method is true. So true means it is visible. It creates some title by using constructor. So frame class defines two constructor, default and parameterizer constructor. First constructor means it does not have any title. Second constructor means string is a class supplied as a constructor. So in this one we can set the title, we can set the height and width. So set size means, so here height and width of the window we have to set by using set size method. So it is the output we have getting after compiling and run this program. So I think everyone clear about these class hierarchy of panel and frame or AWT class hierarchy. Okay.